Alright, so I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to see if I can just look at your gameplay here and see if I can give any like tips or things that I'm personally thinking about if I'm in your shoes. And maybe it's helpful, maybe it's not. I'm probably going to say some things that you don't agree with and I'm not necessarily 100% right on, but you can at least get the feel for what I'm thinking if I'm playing from your car, right? So beginning, it looks like we've got you here in the second place spot. Behind Greg, he's going to contest. You're knowing Greg, he's always going for the block at the beginning, as far as I'm aware. He just always seems to do that. So I think there's no reason for you not to just follow behind him. In normal situation, I think anything else is reasonable. You can go for this right corner boost, or you can go up the right diagonal as well and get a couple boosts and then just be in position for this right side. As the back guy, I'm either going to take this left boost or I'm going to go up the left diagonal. Or for me personally, I watch the second place guy. Second place guy peels off right to go for boost. I go up the middle. If the second place guy is playing middle or slightly right, I go up this left boost side. Just so that how I view the game in threes is the more like area of the map you control, I think the better, because you have that certain probability the ball's just going to happen to come toward your side of the map and you're just there to receive it and take full control. So if he gets a 50-50 and it bounces back into the left and I happen to be going up this left diagonal while you're on the right diagonal, great, I've got full control of the ball. I can pass it to the right to you. If the guy's coming at me, if they gave me space, I can just put it on my roof and just carry it and then eventually flick it up off the backboard. If they don't contest me at all, I can run it up to this side boost, take it up the wall, and have like 10 different options to do with it. But I think the whole game's about control, right? So everything I'm going to talk about, I think, is going to be about maintaining control of the ball as a team or as a player. So you know he's going to block it, but you go to the right. That's fine. If you're going to the right, you need to at least make sure you get this corner boost. You do, okay. At this point, you can see that this is probably going to be a 50-50. If you make sure to jump out slightly and be on top of the ball, you probably come out ahead, clearing it to their right corner every single time. It looks like you are going to beat him to the ball. So you had time to realize in between that and now that you have control. So I don't think you have to just dump it to their goal. Because if you just dump it to their goal, you're out of the play for a very long time. So you're going to be flying toward their corner. And you're just dumping it to their goalie. The goalie can catch it and control it and have a million options. Basically 3v2 down the field. I don't think it's terrible to just dink it high and hope for the best and then immediately realize you need to go back toward our goal. I think that's fine. I'd prefer you to just realize that you have complete control here and just take it back down the wall and keep control. You dink it down, you get the boost, and you're facing backwards. So I think at this point you should be just flipping backwards. I think you should already realize right here, I'm dinking it, and it's way too far out for me to jump out and fly with. So immediately I'm thinking as soon as I land, I'm getting the hell back to my own goal. I'm going to be the goalie for the next few seconds. So no matter what happens here, I've already taken ball cam off and I'm flipping back and getting small boost pads, going directly back to the goal so that Big G feels safe to come out to contest this ball next. You know, I mean, I realize he's way back at our goal, but the sooner you start heading back to the middle of the field toward our goal, the sooner he feels safe to come out. But you just sitting here under the ball, I think I think at this point, because you're just sitting there, I think you're looking at the ball. So I think I end up flicking it at you as a pass. I don't realize you're backwards because you're just sitting here. And then, yeah, so I flicked it at you, not realizing, and then you eventually just flip out. So now we're in a bad spot. Once we're in a bad spot, you got to realize this. All right, you can see this right here. Big G's come out to contest because he doesn't know what's going on. You're kind of been sitting under the ball. So you got to realize we're in a bad spot. Flip directly back to the goal. You actually have 100 boost. There's no reason to go for any kind of side boost or anything. You just go back in front of the goal, spin around, and you play goalie for the next 3 seconds while I get back to goal. Big G gets a 50-50 off. I think it's fine. But because you didn't go directly back to the goal right here, you're not in a great position to get the rebound. So you could be, instead of way up here at this point, you could be all the way back here. Maybe looking this way, maybe not. But right here, you know, you're in a much better position to have your options open of whether you think it's safe to contest the ball or to sit back until the next person gets close enough behind you that you feel okay to go. Right here, this is a very risky contest being in the position that you're at. Like best case scenario, you're just gonna send it up the sidewall. But we should be in a power position right now. Not like 50-50ing it into the wall against them. It ends up going well, I will say. That's like the best thing that could have happened given your position. So right now, you've hit the ball. It's gone up the sidewall. I should be the next in line, I believe, to come contest this ball. Greg's just hit it right before you, so he's probably getting that side boost or going back to goal. So your role is to go back to goal. There's nothing you can do to take control of this ball before the enemy does, I don't think. But you just hang out midfield. And you do another sideways 50-50. You could have just gone back to goal and let Big G come out for that. He can't come out for it because he sees you up there. So he's done a clear because they were taking a shot. Best clear he could have done, I think. And he's going to try to follow that up in some way. I'm in goal. I'm second in line. You come behind me in goal. So what you do here, come back here, take the boosts if you need them, but circle back to the back corner of the goal because I'm going to be the next one out. Okay, oops. Back to Gingy. But instead you circle back around, sit on the ball for a bit. You make it out. You make it back in a reasonable time though. But your angle is very weird to me. Like you got plenty of boost all this time. You use some of it there for no reason. But right here, I think you should just be angling toward the corner and sitting not this far up. And I see you do this a lot. You're way up here on the goalie corner, goalie box or whatever, or you'll be way up here. And I don't think this is an okay spot to defend the goal. I think if the ball's in that corner and you're waiting on somebody else, you sit back here, right? Right here. If they're about to take a shot, you sit right here because that gives you the option to block high right at this corner because you're going to cut off more angles. But the safest place right now for you to be is right here. And I think you even eventually jut inward to take a really awkward angle. Super awkward angle. You're like facing the goal. It's very hard to make this save. He ends up popping it too far over the goal for the third guy to take the shot, but the third guy could have been in position to maybe get a dunk on that. What happens here? Big G's coming back and he thinks he needs to try to get a desperate clear on it. I think that's reasonable. And then good clear. I like that. But you got to realize that these are desperation clears. We're not in control of the ball. We were never in the past like 30 seconds in control of this ball. So you got to realize, I think, are we in control or are they in control? We just made a random ass clear. It was a good clear, but it was a desperation random ass clear. We're not in control of this ball. As soon as I'm landing, I'm spinning down and getting a couple boost pads and getting back in front of that goal in the goalie box. As you. Big G's coming out to contest, and I'm the next one out as soon as I feel it's safe. But if you don't start heading back toward the goal, I'm not going to ever feel safe. He's contesting. I'm getting boost and going to contest next. I take the 50-50. That's reasonable. That's kind of a mistake, but who cares? What I prefer to do is make sure no matter what, I get on top of the ball. So, you know, I'm going up and left here. If he passes it inside, fine. It's much safer play for the goalie to clear or to pass it to you. But the worst thing that can happen is he flips it over you across the wall, I think, from this position. And you play it kind of risky by not going high enough. But it's not a bad contest. Right here, you know you have no boost. So yeah, you're going to check the boost in front of you and hopefully it's up. And then you directly circle back to goal in the back corner, right? Like I mentioned before, if this is me, I'm going to check and see if this is up. So I'm going to circle around here. Hopefully it's up. It'd be great if it's not. I'm going to take maybe 3 or 4 of these, possibly, and then come back, and this is my home right here. And I'm third in line again. Because with you, 0 boost, even if you get this, I mean, you cleared it up. This guy's in control. Trinidad Jared. He has 2 or 3 different options of what he can do with this ball coming at the wall to him. You have no other play, in my opinion, because he has control other than to circle back here. Now, if he's not here, and you know he's not here, and you think that we're going to be the next people to touch the ball, I think you can take this boost, and you can come up the wall, maybe, and receive a pass, or at least give Greg the option to pass to you. But unless you know that it's the case, that we're going to be the next to strike the ball uncontested, and it has to be, you know, we're going to get it uncontested. If you don't know that, this is your spot right here. As fast as possible. Like, that does nothing. You sitting under it with 0 boost. You're just making it harder for us to feel safe to come out for the ball. Not that Big G's not going to feel safe to come out for the ball, but, you know, if he 50-50s it and it goes back into the wall to their control, you know, I just have to hope for the best. Hope I get the block. So you eventually do that, it looks like. But it just takes you a long time. So right here, what do you think you should do with this ball? It looks like you're going to get it uncontested. This guy on the left side, Leifon, he might 50-50 you. If he doesn't, I think you should pass it to me up on the wall. I think that's the safest thing you can do. And at that angle, if he contests you, you're also going to 50-50 the guy pretty safely. as long as you get on top of the ball. It looks like you're instead going to hit it kind of toward the midfield big boost, or hit it toward this Crayfry guy, which is a little dangerous. I think you should pop it up the wall to me. I think the reason why I'm up on the wall there is just to give you the option to pass it to me if that's what you want. And if not, I'm going to immediately go head back to the goal to defend. Instead, I guess you just whiff the ball completely. It happens, I suppose, whatever. And Greg sees it as a desperation move to try and save it because he thinks somebody's taking a shot. I don't blame him at all for that. It happens. So 1 goal down, like shake it off, whatever. So now you're in the second position kicking off. What I'm usually doing is trying to slightly hit it to the right so that it goes to you, but who knows what's going to happen because my kickoffs kind of suck anyways. If it doesn't go to you, then you go back to goal. Right? That's what I would do anyways. You probably take these 2 boost pads in front of you and just wait and see what happens. I'm assuming. Yeah, that's what you do. And you see it's going to our back left corner. You can see that Big G has gone for the boost. I think that's a pretty standard play for the back guy to go for the other side corner boost. And so your job is go directly back to goal. You're right here. Zzz, maybe take this boost. Right here. This is my home right here. See how this plays out with Greg and the ball in the corner. It's probably going to go badly because the ball's popping up in the air to the corner. And that's a very hard thing for him to get under control. He might strike it and it go random place. We'll see. Back to you. But you're not really sure what to do, so you're kind of driving toward the left corner boost, I guess. It ends up working out okay. I don't like the way you drove there, but it's a reasonable option, I guess. But this looked exactly like that save, you know, right when they scored. And I think you just missed the ball, or you almost just missed the ball. I think the best thing you can do is just hit this at Big G. Because you don't have the room to just slow it down and take control of the ball because this Crayfry guy's coming in. But you know he's moving to the left. Big G's moving to the right slightly. I think you can squeeze it in between those 2 blue players and give it to Greg while he lands. He's going to be in an awkward spot most likely, but he can either take control if it's safe, or he can send it right back to you so that you can clear it up to their backboard. So right here, perfect opportunity for you to just pass it to him to give him those couple of options. But you, I guess, whiff, I'm assuming, and you just dink it to the middle of the field. Where was I? I had just done the kickoff. So I'm getting a couple of small boost pads probably and heading back to goal. Still. Right? 1, 2. It's been less than 2.5 seconds since I hit the ball. I'm going back to my home in that corner of the corner of our goal. So you dinking it to the middle of the field is super unsafe. I'm assuming you just misstrike the ball, but you got to realize now we're in a terrible spot. So get what little boost you can and get back to the goal. That's what I'm thinking at this moment if I'm you. Is our team's in a bad spot. But you don't seem to think that. You seem to think we're fine. Big G does get a good 50-50. But you can't expect that from this position right here. Like once you hit this, you can't expect that Big G's gonna get to this ball to 50-50 it at all. Like you should just be concerned with landing and getting back in front of the goal with at least 12 boost to be the goalie, in my opinion. You eventually kind of head back to the goal, but I just don't think it's in a safe way to defend. Like, what if he just jumps up in the air and takes it down the field here? Takes it off the wall. Like, you're the only goalie here. And you've just kind of not gone back. It ends up working out. You can at least 50-50 this ball. However, you only have 12 boost. So it's sketch, but it's doable, right? You can 50-50 this ball. You gotta double jump and you gotta boost toward the ball though. And not just drive around under it. Like if you're not gonna feel safe going for the ball, you should just go back to goal earlier. Like you're just not really offering anything here. So you've ended up realizing you can't contest that ball. You get your boost. And now you realize I'm coming out with the ball. Greg's going to be the one to follow up next. And you're playing backfield. If the ball happens to come to the left and you are safe to take it, sure, take it. But you're still the goalie for now. Until I can circle back. Would you say this is a safe spot for our team right this second? Or they're in control? Because to me, it looks like this Trinidad guy could end up just taking control of the ball, taking it up the wall, and taking a shot. And we have no goalie. If you're instead sitting here, I think you're safe. Personally, I don't feel safe right here if he takes it up the wall. I feel much safer right here because I can just jump, look up, and boost up. And I can block him trying to carry it on the wall. And if he doesn't immediately carry it, I just drive back so that I can buy my teammates time to get back in position to block behind me. So Greg's going for some kind of desperation play here, I think. I mean, he is the second one up. But I think it's really awkward for him to just bank it at this point into the middle of the field, knowing that you're the third one back. And there's no way you can be ready for this pass. I mean, if you're up where he hits it, that's insane. So I think this is him probably misstriking the ball. But as fortune would have it, you are in the best position to take control of this ball anyways, even though everyone's kind of misplaying a little bit. You're kind of looking the wrong direction a little bit, and that's about the worst thing you could do with it, I'm pretty sure. I guess letting it go would be even worse, but you're just too close to the ball as the third person back, I think. Like, I don't feel comfortable being this close and not knowing who's going to hit the ball next, being the third person back. So he hits it up. You're still driving forward and getting closer. And now you're at a bad angle. You went up bad. Maybe you can correct it in the air and just kind of dink it down to the side. That's probably your best play at this point. If that happens, now we're in a real bad spot. Greg has to do a weird defense. And I think that's the best he can do in this situation. Just about. I mean, ideally he hits it into the corner, but I guess he kind of takes it and keeps control of it over that guy. So that's pretty good. But you still realize that we're in a sketchy spot. Like, we still never have good control over this ball. So if it's me here, my priority is still make sure we have a goalie. that's whatever. But you still know that we're in a bad spot when you spawn. Like I've not felt good about our control over this ball in the past like minute and a half, like the whole game pretty much. So, but instead you don't. Okay, when you get blown up and we don't have great control over the ball, you gotta think, when I spawn, I'm looking with my eyes and seeing what I need to do, because my first thought is I need to defend the goal. But you think, I recognize I'm in the left corner, I'm gonna get the left boost. But you're in perfect position to just clear this above their goal, maybe pass it into their left corner. That's probably the best play. Big G's gonna end up in their left corner, and you can just pass it to him to give him a couple options. So what could happen here, I think, I don't know how I lost the... I don't know how I did that, but what I would like to do is just take this ball when it's coming toward me, throw it into their left corner where Big G's gonna be, and he can either catch it and decide further what to do, or he can just dink it back to the middle so that somebody can take a shot. That's likely gonna end up in a 1v1. Highly likely. How did I do this? I actually have no idea. There we go. So we want player view, G. You go for the boost. I sense that we're in a desperate moment, so I see Crayfry coming in, and I just don't want him to take the free shot on the goal. I think that's probably the best thing I could have done here, but maybe I could have just let it go and trusted that you'd be there. So right here, you should be able to just double jump up and get the guaranteed contest. I don't think you can beat this Trinidad guy, but you should be able to get the contest, I think. But you jump really late. Hopefully you agree with me that right here, you can just jump up and boost. But you wait like almost half a second later to jump at all. He almost can get to the shot. Don't agree. Why are you running the ball? I don't think this is a play in any world that we live in. We're only down by 1. We got 3 minutes left, and you're just driving at the ball that's in our corner. Goalie takes this ball, and you circle around behind him. So, same thing I've mentioned before. If I'm you, I recognize I'm supposed to come this way, maybe take a couple boosts, come back here. This is my spot. Maybe I come up to here. The situation warrants it. But, you know, you can see that me right here, Sensei, I'm the one that's going to contest this ball next. I need somebody coming back so that I feel safe to do that. Big G second in line. You have no business driving toward this ball. I think there's an alternative play that I think's reasonable, that your plan is to kill this Leifan guy. I think that's the only reason to drive into this corner at all, is to kill that guy. So if you do that, fine, reasonable. But I'm not sure. I guess you're just here to take the boost, but you don't really even need it. Like, you actually have 100 boost here. You still have 64. If you just drive straight back, you can get to 100 easily. Like, this is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 4 to 5 boosts you're going to collect on the way, no matter what path you take. 4 boosts is half of your boost. That's 48. 12 each, right? Like, you don't need to take this extra 2-second route. And right here, like I just mentioned, me on Sensei, I'm going to be the next one to contest this ball. Big G's up next. It's pretty simple. Like, unless you call some audible, like mine, me, something, there's no reason for you to go for this ball. Like, the goalie's going to get it. It's me and then Big G. So he's going to follow the ball out. But as soon as you're not coming back to goal, I mean, I can see this is desperation mode. I ended up landing on the wall and trying to hit this out. That's a mishit by me. That's a bad mishit. But I didn't get punished. Big G's there to clear the ball. Your thoughts should still be, I'm getting the fuck back in the goal. Because we have no control over this ball. We're trying to clear it desperately. But we need to maintain control before we just don't sit somebody in the goal. I think this is slightly out of position. I think anything past this middle boost pad is out of position at this point. Can't stand this. So you're the goalie here. You can recognize now that the enemy has full control over the ball. So if they just pop it over you to the backboard, they can just slam it in. Nobody can defend it if you can't, you know, boost up and hit it into the corner. So I think the best spot for you to do that, oops, where you at here? Just sit here right here in the goal. Normally, you'd be in this spot, in this corner of the goal, right? I think anywhere in this box behind this boost pad is reasonable. That way, you know, you got like 60, 70 boosts. You could have more. If they pop it up on the backboard, you know, he's past half court. You can always get to this ball. Just jump, look up, jump again, boost. Block the ball. Ideally hit it into the corner. Or if you think you have really good control, pass it. So I'm over here. Me and Greg had just cleared the ball together, kind of, because it was an awkward spot. I'd kind of mishit it down. He cleared it. So I'm getting like a couple boost pads. Maybe I got the corner boost and I'm going to circle back to goal probably. If I see that you get control of the ball, I might give you the option to pass it to me on the wall. And then I can go straight back. We'll see what happened. Let's see. Player view. So he hits it into the corner. You can see me over here on the left. I know I have no business getting this ball right now. I know this is your ball. I'm going directly back to goal. I don't want anything to do with this ball that's in an awkward spot for me to hit. See? But because you're out of position here, now you don't feel comfortable hitting this ball. You don't know exactly where it's going to bounce. Looks like it's going to hit the corner and kind of bounce down just a little bit in front of where the camera's looking right now. I think it, yep, maybe a little higher than I thought. But if you'd stopped right here and just sat right here and recognized my teammates are in a bad spot, I'm sitting in this box in the goal for at least 2 to 3 more seconds while one of them can get back close to the goal somewhere. That's what I'm thinking. And if that happened, right? If that happens, then you're in position to hit this next ball. Because as soon as it gets here, you know that this is your ball to clear. You'd be right here. And if you're sitting right here, this is an easy 50-50 at worst for you, right? You can see it's going to hit the corner and it's going to bounce down somewhere in this area. So you can just drive up and contest this guy. Contest high so that he can get a high shot. Pretty simple. Where you're at here, this is a hard contest. He can just pop it back into the corner again and his teammate can take another shot while we're still struggling to get back to the goal. Like if you can just sit back for an extra half a second to a second and buy us time to get back to goal, that's huge. That's huge. But because your position is awkward. So I have a desperation save that I try to clear to the corner. It's not the greatest corner clear, but it works. And somehow I land back in order to get it out. So I get it away from the Slay Fawn guy so he can't take a shot, which is fortunate because Big G got cleared at the same moment. At this point, your best option is to desperate hit it into the side, but it's a really fast reaction time type thing. So I think you're fine just thinking in the moment, I've got to get back to goal. We're not in a great spot. Enemy's in control. I'm getting back to goal. And how am I doing that? Boost pad, spin around right here. Or boost pad, spin around right here. That's what I'm thinking. But you go the aggressive route and look toward their goal for some kind of opportunity that's, I think there's no way it's there. Like, it's just not there. I made a desperate clear, and their third guy's still back there. Like, he's gonna get control of this ball. We're on the defensive. Right here, we're still in a bad spot. What's the best thing you can do? Circle back to goal. Maybe go above the goal in this case, because it's popped up so high. To give yourself the option to be the one to clear it if Big G can't. You see Big G is kind of in position. It looks a little awkward. But because he's the goalie before you, unless you're calling something, I think you need to defer to the one that's already there to make this clear. And you can just wait on the wall, wait on the floor, whatever, and see what happens. You need to trust that he's going to get this ball. Which you kind of do. So that's fine. He misses it. And then you can strike this ball, which it's looking kind of awkward, especially being on low boost, but you know, that's whatever. So you miss it. It looks like I'm seeing that this is a desperate situation after Big G missed it as well. So I'm kind of just trying to make sure to clear it. Maybe that's a mistake on my part, not thinking you have this. But I put it into the corner. Right here, you can still recognize that we're not in a good spot. There's no way I have control over this ball. This is clearly me desperating clearing this to the corner. So you still need to be like, Big G just went up, Sensei just went up. I'm sitting my ass in goal. Maybe I'm getting this boost pad in front of me, but then I'm backing up. You know, maybe I'm getting this, but then I'm backing up to right here. So I can further analyze what's going to happen and where I need to be in the safe spot. You're way too far forward here. Way too far forward. Yeah. And if they had another teammate there, they could have just slammed it in. Because Big G, that was not his ball to save. He had just gotten back to goal. But once you recognize here, okay, well, clearly I can't get to it. But you see Big G in front of you. Because you're the one that sees him, he can't see you. He's on ball cam. Most people are going to be on ball cam. Maybe he's, you know, aware enough to realize that maybe you're going to come in and go past the goal and take the ball. But because you see him, you need to defer to him because he's in goal. Right here, you see that he's going to contest this ball. Just stop in your tracks, sit in the goal. You have 14 boost. You have enough to defend most things. You can't come out this far. You're out of position. Okay. It ends up not getting punished. And you are in position to hit this ball. Your angle's a little awkward based on what you saw. You need to kind of angle your car to go where you think you need to jump. You're kind of sideways here. You're still not corrected. There you go. It's not that bad. So where are you thinking you're going to put this ball? You can't slow it down and control it. You can maybe throw it to the right as a pass to Big G, but it's super awkward. I think all you can really do is kind of just clear it into the right corner or above the goal really high. And then play it from there in the air. But they're probably just going to clear it on Leifon back there. So I'd say this is not a situation where no matter what, we're going to be in control, probably. But you're going to have to clear it. Miss it, whatever, it happens. But you're not in a big hurry to get back. You're expending all your boost going left and right. And you're not even taking a path back from small boost pads. Maybe you try to get a kill on Lafon or something. Fine. But once you miss, you miss. Get the boost. Perfect. Perfect position. Good. You pass it to me. Perfect. This gives me a couple of options. I can control it or I can send it back to you. I kind of send it back to you. Maybe it's a little off, but it's still possible for you to take this shot or knock it high. Okay, I think this is fine. You throw it into their corner with the little boost you have. But once you do that, you recognize you're on no boost. You gotta get the fudge out. Right? Get the fudge out of here. You're doing circles underneath the ball. Right? Perfect hit. Now get the fudge out. Get some boost pads on your way out and get the fudge out. Taking too long. Taking too long. You know you're the only one back here. Are you going to contest from this corner? We're still only 1 goal down. 2 minutes left. He could have caught that and just taken it into the goal. Right here. You're okay to just pop it over their goalie. He can probably block it, but at least we'll be in kind of control. They're a little late, but that's fine. That's a fine contest. Whose ball is this? Who's in control? So you contested that ball? Who's up next? Big G's gonna contest. He's gonna block the shot or block the pass. I'm up after him. Big G goes up for the block. He kind of whiffs. I'm up next. I recognize nobody's coming in, so I'm gonna carry the ball out. But you're the next in line. You're the goalie. Big G went to get boost, and he's gonna be the second one out. Right? Like, your third one, you're responsible for the goal. We're gonna go out. You can't take this path. You have to go into the goal. Like, I see you go left, so I can't take that boost. I don't know if I needed it or not. Maybe I just mishit it up the wall. I think I was trying to take it up the wall and it bounced funny. So that's a mishit by me, probably. So I try to just recover and 50-50 it. But still, you're supposed to be the one in goal. Greg's supposed to be the second one out. Right? Isn't that right? Because you can't see what's going on. Like, if I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is a bad spot. I'm getting back in goal. Greg's probably going to be back by now. But we need a second person back there because we're not in control of this at this point. I get a good block, but this angle is very awkward. Right here. I'm thinking this way, right back here. Maybe because he's on the wall, maybe you go up the wall here and can block from up here. Either way, whatever the preference is. But this way is gonna be super awkward. Right here, you know you and Greg are the only ones back right now because I've just hit the ball. I've just 50-50'd it. Greg's just gone up. I'm not back yet. I'm almost back actually, but you know, I just hit it, so I have no boost. I'm probably gonna grab a couple small boost pads before I circle into the goal. AG goes up, he's toward the ball. Maybe you didn't realize it when he went up that he would stay with it, but right now you can see he is, so you just gotta stop in your tracks and see how he takes it. Don't take the ball from him, don't take the boost from him. You're just out of position. I just clear it because I think we're not in control. And because you didn't stop here, you stop right here, you're okay. Much farther, and it's hard, you know. At this point, we don't have any control. They're gonna clear this back. But get too far forward. And it's from there, it's just hard to get to. So, minute 30 left. You're the last one back. Probably not going to win this game at this point. But what is that? I mean, this is a throw. So, your options as the back guy here, what are they? You can go take this boost, because you're on the right. Or, you know, if I peel off, maybe you can come up mid. I don't think you like to do that, that's fine. You can go up this diagonal. If you want to play super safe in goal, I guess you can take this boost, this boost, this boost, and then sit in goal. Right? I think those are probably the three options. But why take the small boost? Enemy's now in full control. It's gone to their back guy up the wall. You're the only one back because you're the third guy. And you leave the goal to go get boost late. Why not just get this boost at the beginning if you want the boost? But now they can just take a direct shot into the goal. I don't think they do, but they could have. Actually, he ended up tossing it above the rim, and his teammate Crayfry over in the right corner could have taken the shot. It looks like Greg clears him up the wall. Another whiff. So me and Greg both realized that was really awkward that you whiffed it, so we're kind of desperating. I was the one back and should be the one going up, but Greg probably thinks that's a really hard save for me, and I would agree. So he's desperate in for the save as well. I think that's fine. But what happens is I do get up and tip it. So Greg desperating to it looks really awkward because he's not going to hit it because I hit it away. And at this point, that's probably just another goal, right? Yeah. But hopefully you can see how this is caused by your play. Right here. Right here, you can't leave the goal. You're in a perfect spot right here. Maybe I'd prefer you to be slightly to the left, closer to the goal. But you're a perfect spot here to defend the goal and give Big G like 2 more seconds to get back behind you, or, you know, coming back toward you before you go out. You got plenty of boost, but you just leave the goal, and you didn't get punished, but then you whiffed on the ball, and now it's just a really bad spot. So that happened in the goal. Probably nothing else matters too much after this. 3-0 with a minute and a half. That's awkward as hell. Right, so you knock the ball to the right, that's fine. Maybe you take this side boost, or maybe you just go back to goal. You don't drive toward the ball. You don't do a circle and go back to the ball. It's not your ball. And about the worst thing you can do is just hit into the wall and pass it to the enemy. Just letting it go is better than that. And yikes. So you see all three of the enemies right now. Two of them are coming back toward their own goal. Leifon is in the right corner, not in a position to hit the ball. Big G's gonna control this ball, hopefully. Maybe he takes it up the side wall, or maybe he just clears it. I don't think he should clear it, but you know, he's gonna do one of those three things. But he's in full control. Enemy cannot contest this ball. But you just knock it away from him for no reason. In a really awkward spot now. I'm the only one back, and you're both now on the wall because of that. So again, because of your play, we both feel like we're in a desperate spot to hit this ball. Big G's not sure I can get to it, so he hits it on the wall, but it's kind of miss hit. That was fortunate. Actually, that was a pretty good block there. You see how bad of a spot I'm in right now, probably with no boost. So what I'm thinking, right in front of you, I'm thinking this guy's got a shot on goal. I'm going to get to his close corner and block the high shot. Hopefully that gives one of you a better chance to block it low if he decides to go under me. That's always the way I think in this kind of situation where it's desperation. So I'm blocking high in the inside. The guy hits it under me just barely. And that gives us a decent chance to block it. Barely. 50 seconds left. It's okay, contest. I mean, at this point you got no boost, you're out of position here. You're hitting it off the wall when you can just hit it off the ground or control it. Just send it back to them. Give them possession. Big G gets a good clear to the side. That's a good play by Big G. Very good. Passes it to me. I'm trying to control it in the air, but this guy goes up early on me. Who's going up next? It's me. I'm controlling the ball. Big G's up next, right? You're heading back to goal. So you have to defer to Big G on any decision here. What I think should happen, I should go up with it, trying to control the ball. Big G should be mid, picking up small boost pads on the way in case I backboard it or try to pass it down to him. That's my preference of what he should do, but I think he does have options. And you, as the third person back, have to defer to him, to decide what you're gonna do. You're probably not sitting back at this point with 30 seconds left, but you basically should just be wherever he's not. You know, get some small boosts and be where he's not. Like, we're in somewhat control. You can see he's flipping to the right. He's gonna go get the right boost. I think that's a bad decision. He can just get small boosts and be the second guy up. But whatever, you can see him doing it, so you have to react based on what he does. Like, you're the one back, you can see him. He cannot see you. He's looking at the ball. He's on ball cam, probably. So if he's going right, you have to go left. You have to defend the back line and be on the left side. Can't go to the right. Big G's up next, he's on the right. Can't go to the right. It looks like he's trying to make some play happen at the end where he's hoping you're in the middle or the left and he passes it to you. Given the circumstance, I think that's a good hit by him. Maybe it's a little close to their goal. But, you know, like I said, you should be on the left side. Away from him. That's the important thing. Give him a pass target. Get your boosts up. You can't be on the same side as him. Here, desperation plays. Probably nothing else matters right now. we're just all in desperate mode anyways. That's probably the game, actually. So, I don't know, hopefully this is somewhat helpful in some ways. Maybe you don't care. But at least maybe it'll give you some insight into how I'm thinking about the game as it's playing out. And if I'm your car, how I'm feeling and where I think I should be at all times. So, you know, let me know what you think, but I guess I'll wrap it up there. It was a lot longer than I expected it to be.